Okay, first of all,
Hi, this is Joe Cortez. You're watching ShowBizz, the adult.
Oh, this is Bernard Hopkins, ShowBizz, the adult. I'm out.
oops, up off net, up off net. It's Friday, boy. All right, man, look. So, what are my thoughts on the Charlos and Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, his sparring session against Philip Herkovic? And what do I hear? Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao versus Triple G? Whoops! All right, man, look. Let's get to the reaction. First, I want to say this. A lot of show business partners, been hitting me up asking me to discuss Freddie Roach stating that, Manny Pacquiao can move up and take on Triple G. And I had a lot of you reaching out to me asking me about the sparring session. I was reluctant to do it. I only watched a portion of it. And I'll tell you why I was reluctant to do it, but I'm going to give my real reaction, and I'm going to give, after watching it, then I give a genuine response to it. But I had a show business partner ask me, you know what? ShowBizz the adult. I don't know exactly how you feel about the Charlos, and that's because I criticized Jamal Charlo when Sergey Derevchenko and Canelo Alvarez, that possible matchup in September. I was just talking about how Sergey Derevchenko can get that opportunity and why that'll be a great opportunity and for the fans as well to see a fight like that, because though he lost against Danny Jacobs and he lost against Triple G, it was a very close fight against Danny Jacobs, which people thought that he deserved a nod. And many people feel overwhelmingly that he was robbed against Triple G. So though officially he had 2 losses, you kind of feel that Sergey Derevchenko is actually the better man. So I was saying, him having that opportunity, why he would get that opportunity over Jamal Charlo, rather, and why the people will say, hey, man, that's a great fight, because regardless of what the win and loss column says, I know what I saw. ShowBizz the coffee. Black, 2 sugars. So yeah, we're going to start with Jamal Charlo, or the Charlos, period, how I feel about them. This is how I feel about the Charlos, okay? I think I've made it clear on a few occasions that I'm a fan of theirs. I actually like the Charlos. And that's because I followed them early on, back when they had, the short haircuts. I think Jamal Charlo fought a guy named Antoine Smith back in the day. The fights with Perez. I'm talking about before the Lubin fights and before J-Rock. I'm talking about, when they had the shorter haircuts. It was actually Black Sun, shout out to you, who brought them to my attention. And when I was looking at them, I saw 2 boxers who were actually working on their technique. They looked very fundamentally sound, though, they were still raw. They were very technical. They're very technically sound. I mean, it was before they were the power punchers, knockout artists that they are now. Before that, when they were straight up and down, great jab, great technique. Boy, they still have great jabs. Jamal Charlo still have one of the better jabs in the business. He'll knock you down, knock you out with a jab, okay? You saw what he did with J-Rock.
Trouble he has here. Oh, and that jab sent Williams to the canvas.
But yeah, they had great balance, great jabs, very technically sound, and I like the way they fought. Their personalities outside the ring, I really, here's something that you have to know about ShowBizz the dog. How people act, their personalities don't bother me. I don't I mean, if they're not saying anything to me personally, I don't take their personalities personal. It doesn't bother me. I just want to watch them as athletes. That goes for basketball players, football players, all those things. Boxers, if they're talking junk, if they're more boisterous, if they're more quiet, they're more blue collar, if they're more, flashy, it really doesn't matter to me. I just want to see an exciting fight. It never really mattered to me. I'm kind of like this, and this is what I can identify with when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. When Manny Pacquiao, I feel him when he'll look at a guy. Remember he had that stare down with Joshua Clottey, and then he start laughing. How, you can try to put on a mean mug and try to put on the act and the bells and whistles and stuff like that, and it just makes him laugh. Except for if you're trying to directly attack him, like Keith one time, Thurman. He kind of got under Manny Pacquiao's skin, and I don't think it was the words he was saying. It wasn't that. It was more so his intent. He was trying to hurt his feelings. And Manny Pacquiao was kind of like, I don't respect a guy like, now you're pissing me off. Okay, and I'm like that. Your words doesn't hurt my feelings, but if you're trying to, if that's your intent to actually hurt me, then I have a problem with you. But as far as Jamal and Jamel and, what they do outside the ring and how they sound, how they speak, it really does. I don't want them to lose based on their personality. I'm not around them enough for it to really affect me personally. So, as fighters, I was a fan of theirs. Always been. And they kind of changed their style to be more knockout artists, knocking people out. You saw what Jamel did with Lubin.
But 11 of his knockouts. Oh, Charlo just dropped Lubin.
You saw what Jamal did with J-Rock. You saw what they've been doing, since then. How Jamel knocked out Tony Harrison.
Scored round by round. Oh! Harrison is hurt. Harrison's down.
They kind of changed their styles a bit, not for the better, not in my opinion, but it got them more notoriety, So my criticism, though, is why they're not getting the big fights. And, with Jamal Charlo, let's just talk about Jamal. Can he beat Canelo Alvarez? I think it'd be a good fight for him. I think that'd be a fan. Right now, I don't think it's something that, he has to, get better. He has to tighten up before he takes on Canelo. I think he'd be ready for Canelo now. My thing is, the WBC belt landed in his lap. And if you look at who he's fought, okay, he hasn't taken that road to Canelo. That's all. I mean, is he somebody that would be a great fight for Canelo? Yeah, certainly. But Sergey Derevchenko, he fought Triple G, and many people feel that he won. He deserves that opportunity with Canelo. As far as fighting, who he fought Danny Jacobs. It's a shame. The guy only got like 15 fights. But he fought Danny Jacobs, and he fought Triple G already. And he didn't officially get the nod. If he would have officially got the nod, it'll be no question that Sergey Derevchenko deserves a fight with Canelo Alvarez. But he didn't officially get it. But for me, it's the same thing. Okay? For me, I know what I watch. Sergey Derevchenko was better than Triple G. So I'd rather see the guy that was better than the name, the bells and whistles. I'd rather see the guy that was truly better fight Canelo Alvarez. I think Jamal Charlo taking on a Dennis Hogan, taking on a Brandon Adams, I don't think that is the right road to Canelo Alvarez. But he does have the belt. He has the belt. So, I mean, because of that, maybe. But I like those boys. I think those boys are very talented. Are they great? We'll see. It's just like Apollo Creed said, you fight great, but I'm a great fighter. As of right now, Jamal Charlo, he fights great, but Canelo Alvarez is a great fighter. Okay, let's look at Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and this sparring session, which, I mean, I was actually against it, man. I was against actually watching it because I respect the whole, what happens in sparring stays in sparring, and I understand the reason why they say that. But we're going to do this. I respect that. But it's here now. So what do you do? All right, let's see. Good right hand. That was terrible.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, his technique stinks. but we know. I figured with headgear, with him not being able to really, you know, just and not having the intent to go and knock somebody out, you're going to see his technique in full display, and it's going to be a bad watch. I figure that. Number two, I think I hear Whitney Houston in the background, so it's not helping the optics here. All right, let's go.
That's it. Yeah, you want to watch this? Yeah, look at this. Forget me.
David Hay up here?
Which one's going down?
When was this? Bruh, he intercepted your jab. Bruh. He said, keep coming. That's it. Oh, Deontay's talking to... Oh, shit. That was heavy, boy. Can y'all stop with the Whitney Houston? All right. First of all, hold on. I'm noticing this. Just to be unbiased, I understand a lot of you, hate Deontay Wilder. I definitely criticized Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. But I'm noticing this off bat. There is cut. See, that's what I'm saying. This is difficult. It's clips. It's cut. I don't see anything good from Deontay. Maybe that doesn't mean Deontay didn't do anything good. Maybe he did do some things or a lot of things great. I don't know. I just heard him talking, saying, that's it. Good job. It looks like he's kind of playing with him, or he wanted to get some work in. I don't know what happened here. Like, see, this is what I'm saying. This is why this is actually no fair. His legs are very skinny, though. Jeez Louise. That's a heavyweight?
That's it.
He said, that's it.
That's it.
Ooh, shit. Oh, good head movement, Deontay. He's tired. Phillips tired. Arm punches. Yeah. That's it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see anything. Yo, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I don't see anything. Okay, look. Let me tell you something. Have any of you boxed? Like, when you're in sparring, a lot of times it all depends on what they're working on. Was Phillip more crafty than Deontay? It looks like he had better reflexes in countering him. But a sparring session isn't a fight. It's a spar. You work on certain things. I'm not sure who was working on what, but Deontay was actually kind of coaching him, saying, that's it. If someone were to grab a camera and record sessions I have with ShowBizz the Kid, y'all may be thinking ShowBizz the Kid's whooping my ass. But there's a few things I'm helping them with. But on top of that, I'm working on stuff like from me, like how much can I take? I tell them to dig on your shots. How much can I still take? My years are advancing. So I don't know. What was Deontay working on? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. A lot of you guys reached out to me, told me to watch this sparring session. I didn't really want to do it because I didn't know what to watch. Look out for. I know everybody asked me to look, and I think you guys were expecting me to kind of like dog Deontay, but first of all, there's clips of just Phillip getting off, but when he was, Deontay was kind of like, yeah, there you go. What did Kevin Hart say when he was lifting wrong and the guy slapped him on the butt? Like, there you go.
There you go. That's it. Pull it up. Everything. Come on now.
That's it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I really can't give much else. I mean, look, there was a sparring session I saw with James Lights Out Tony and Gerald McCullen. I love that. I've watched it on a few occasions. And the G-Man was getting a lot of shots off. But James was sitting between the shoulders, kind of like letting him get his shots off. Dude, I saw something like that with, I think it was Teofimo Lopez and Tank Davis. Teofimo was getting his shots off, but Tank was like, good work. But Tank was working on something else, maybe how to endure, how to, just take those shots or whatever. Tank wasn't fighting them. They weren't fighting. It was just they were working on two separate things. So I'm sorry. I knew I was going to come to this. I don't know what I'm looking at. They could be working on different things, and I'm seeing different clips, and they're cutting to different. There's nothing to take from this. There's nothing to take. If you know boxing, there's not much of anything until you get more information. There's not much of anything I can take from this. All right, so let's look at Freddie Roach and what he had. This was on DAZN? Okay, Chris Maddox, okay. Where he says that Manny Pacquiao can be taken on Triple G. Oh, they actually have the time in which he said that. Okay, let's do it. Let's just go there.
I mean, you're right. Everybody's calling him out. I mean, he has an opportunity to fight whoever he wants. He still represents a lot of money in boxing. I mean, what makes the most sense to you?
There's always good fights out there. And the thing is, one thing about Manny, he doesn't want to just beat anybody. He wants to beat the best out there. He wants to fight the top guys. I mean, like Mikey Garcia called him out a couple of times. I think that's a good fight for him, of course.
Mikey Garcia is a wonderful fight for him. Mikey Garcia is a wonderful fight for Manny Pacquiao. And quite frankly, the funny thing is, when I think about that fight, I am not 100% confident that Manny wins that fight at this age. I'm not 100% confident. I like that fight. I think it'd be a fantastic. A ShowBizz partner, Brent Jones, feel the same way I do. He looks at this and he's hit me, just personally, like, in the comments, like, hey, look, ShowBizz, on live streams, it'll be live streams, and he'll say, I feel the way you do. I think that's a great fight. So yeah, I mean, though Mikey Garcia lost to Errol the True Spence. Styles make fights, plus, that was his first time at 147, stuff like that. Manny is more so right there with him as far as size and everything. That's a fantastic fight.
And, Robert called him out on one of your shows. And it made me smile because I like that fight from Manny. I think it's a good fight. But the thing is, Manny might want to go a little bit maybe higher and fight, Triple G.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. He didn't say that. Let me go back.
Triple G, one of those guys who's supposed to be the best guy in the world today.
Okay. First of all, he stuttered. He said, Triple G, or that's what you see, all that white in his beard. Okay, you see the white in his beard and in his hair and all that stuff. That's what that is. There are times when I'm trying to call ShowBizz the child, okay, and I scream out ShowBizz the kid. You get your children mixed up. Your stuff slip. You know what I mean? I think you call people different names. He didn't mean Triple G. I'm sure he didn't mean Triple G.
Because Pacquiao still desires to be the best there is.
Would you put him at 160?
No, I would not.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Okay. Look how quick he said no. He didn't mean Triple G. He may have meant Danny Garcia. He didn't mean Triple G. It's obvious. Who prints this stuff? Okay, he didn't mean that. It's obvious he didn't mean Manny versus Triple G. It's obvious.
Not advised to go 160. No. Now we're getting a little crazy.
Now we're getting crazy.
He is, but man,
he doesn't even realize he said Triple G. He said, "Now we're getting a little crazy." Yeah, you the one that said Triple G. He doesn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
Putting him at 47 was a risk at one time. Right. When everyone told me he can make 40 pretty easy. He can actually make 35 if he digs down and so forth. But that's a little bit more effort and so forth. But
see, that's the thing. Manny Pacquiao, the reason why he's so great is because he's not really 147. Like he said, he can make 135. Manny Pacquiao isn't a welterweight. On the low, Floyd Mayweather wasn't really a welterweight until a little bit later. He definitely wasn't a 154 pounder. He couldn't even come in at the weight. I always gave Floyd Mayweather a lot of love. Every time you say Manny Pacquiao, you gotta say Floyd for something. Or vice versa. But I give Floyd a lot of love for fighting at 154. I always gave him so much love for fighting Cotto at 154. That's crazy. But Manny Pacquiao taking on Antonio Margarito, and that's even more insane. Him fighting at 147 is a stretch. That's Manny Pacquiao is a little guy. And that's what I'm saying, why he's so great, man. Yeah, that's why.
Like, to fight the biggest guys at 147, and where the money was, it's just it made
was a money
good
thing.
sense to all of us.
Before I let you go, Freddie,
He about to talk about
Mike
Tyson.
Tyson's back
Hold
in the
on.
news, and Tyson is talking about, he's clearly in shape, much better shape than he's been in years.
Yeah, and Mike's a great guy, and I did train him for a couple of fights before the end of his career, and his heart really wasn't in it at that time, and like he, if he didn't knock you out.
His heart wasn't in it at the time. How many times do I have to say that when people bring up Danny Williams and stuff like that? His heart wasn't. It's hard to. Oh man, look at how he looked 15 years ago. Look, man, you can grab a prime fighter just a fight ago, and he looks bad because his heart wasn't in it. Hey, look, if you want to take an extreme example, Oliver McCall, he coming in. You want to talk about somebody's heart not in it, okay? He actually knocked out Lennox Lewis coming in like, so from fight. Buster Douglas, from fight to fight. Who did he fight? And he looked, was it TNT Tucker? It was one of those, he was actually winning the fight and then gave up in the middle of it, okay? And then after that, knocks out Mike Tyson. So when your heart's not into it, you guys can miss me with that, okay? Physically, yeah, he was more in his prime 15 years ago. But that doesn't matter if you have no heart. It really doesn't matter. That's why I said Iron Mike Tyson now is probably a bigger problem than he was back when he fought Danny Williams. Let's see what Freddie, because I think I heard Freddie Roach say something about knocking people out.
Within a couple of rounds, you get a torn meniscus in his knee or an injury somewhere here or there, and get out of the fight. And then, but the thing is, Mike is a great puncher, and he trained.
If he didn't knock you out in a couple rounds, it was over. That's basically what he's saying. He had to knock you out in the first couple rounds, or his heart wasn't in it. That's different.
He's very hard, and being with Mike for 2 fights, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. Catching him on the mitts was very difficult and very a lot of fun. I mean,
he was getting his ass
whacked by Mike Tyson with the right hook isn't my favorite spot, but it happened, and I lived through it. So
and I lived through. It wasn't my favorite thing to do, but it was a lot of fun. I love it.
Your story, like you tell so many good stories, Freddie. That but one of my favorites is you stealing Tyson's plane. Is one of my all-time favorite stories.
It was. I says, "Is there another plane for Mike?" He said, "Yeah, there's another plane for Mike." I says, "Well, if we don't take this one, we still get charged for it." Yeah. Let's get there and get settled, and let Mike take the next plane. And then he told me, he says, the plane that you left me, it didn't even have food on it. We had to order Chinese takeout for my daughter. He says, "You son of a bitch." So I wasn't allowed in his room for 4 days before the fight, and then
what are you doing?
Come on down, let's warm up a little bit. And we did some mitts, and we warmed up, and the fight was the next day. And
I would never want to hold Mike Tyson's mitts after stealing anything, let alone a plane. So, yeah, that's a fantastic story. That's pretty much my reaction. Look, all right, man, look. No, Manny Pacquiao wasn't going to fight no Triple G. He didn't mean it. Look, Triple G, yeah, he didn't look great against Sergey Derevchenko, okay? Fine, he didn't look good against Sergey Derevchenko, but he still dropped him, okay? So if Triple G hits Manny Pacquiao, he may evaporate, all right? With that said, Manny Pacquiao is going to take it on Triple G. As far as Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder in that sparring session, I did not see anything. I'm sorry. I criticized Deontay Wilder as much as the next man, okay? And rightfully so. His technique stinks! But, and you saw that. That was on display, but I need to know more about that sparring session and what happened. And give me the full sparring session, not just the clips. ShowBizz the adult. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. I'm out.